Welcome to Financially Free Gen Z, the podcast tailored specifically to Gen Zers looking to level up their financial knowledge and take control of their money matters.
In each episode, we delve into practical budgeting strategies, insightful tips on debt management, and essential advice on building a solid financial foundation.
Our goal is to arm you with the knowledge to own your financial choices and pave the way for a prosperous future. Join us as we navigate the world of money management together. I'm your host, Rachel Munger.
And I'm your co-host, Joshua Herrmann. We are both Gen Zers ourselves who work in the financial industry. This week, we will be changing things up a bit and discussing the community of La Crosse, Wisconsin.
Yes, to launch our third season of Financially Free Gen Z, today's episode is going to look a little different. While we're usually discussing tips for budgeting, saving, or getting out of debt, today we wanted to spend this time highlighting one of our local markets here at Coulee Bank, which is La Crosse, Wisconsin. To provide a little bit of background about where we work, which is Coulee Bank, we're based out of La Crosse, Wisconsin, and then we also have locations in Rochester, St. Paul, and Minnetonka, all over here in Minnesota. And so both Josh and I are out of the Twin Cities, but I've spent a considerable amount of time down in La Crosse throughout my life, as well as during my time here at Coulee Bank. How about you, Josh? Have you made your way down to La Crosse much?
I've made my way down to La Crosse twice.
Okay.
Once was for the Christmas holiday party, and then the other time was for my cousin's wedding.
Okay, yeah. Was the wedding at Celebrations on the River?
It was not at Celebrations on the River. It was actually at the St. Paul, or not the St. Paul Nature Center, the La Crosse Nature Center.
Okay. Very cool. Yes, I've also been to a few weddings in La Crosse for my friends who live in the cities, so I was like, wow, my worlds are colliding.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so La Crosse, my all-time favorite time to go is definitely in the fall. La Crosse is part of what's known as the Driftless area here in the Midwest, which is a region of Minnesota, Wisconsin, Iowa, and Illinois that's categorized by some really unique topography and geological features. So La Crosse has just beautiful bluffs and rivers. And during the fall time, when you're driving in, there's just like these beautiful cascading bluffs, and then they're filled with the trees that are all changing colors. And it really is just a beautiful backdrop with beautiful nature.
Yeah, I know when I went to the wedding in the summertime, it was just all green and lush, and there was a lot of wildlife. So I was really impressed with that. La Crosse really does have something for everyone. Whether you're an outdoor enthusiast, a history buff, or just looking to explore a charming town, La Crosse is something for everyone. Let's start by discussing one of the most iconic sites in La Crosse, Riverside Park. This park is a must visit if you're in the area. Located right by the river, it offers stunning views of the Mississippi and is a perfect spot for a peaceful walk or a picnic. You can also rent a kayak or a paddleboard and experience the river up close. For those who prefer to stay on land, Riverside Park is also home to the La Crosse Queen, a riverboat that offers tours along the Mississippi. The scenery from the boat is absolutely incredible, and it's a fun way to learn more about the area's history and wildlife while staying dry.
Yes, I am a huge fan of Riverside Park, especially around Christmas. They have the Rotary Lights display, which is a really impressive display of just thousands of Christmas lights. That is just a fun way to celebrate the holiday season.
And I believe that's a drive-through, right? Like you,
Yes.
you drive around and you
can also walk through. You can do both.
Ooh,
but it's a little chilly in Wisconsin in December.
Also, if you're looking for something a bit more adventurous, you can't miss a visit to Granddad Bluff. This is the highest point in the city, offering panoramic views of La Crosse, the river, and the surrounding bluffs. You can drive up to the top or hike if you're feeling a bit more adventurous. The lookout point is breathtaking, especially during sunrise or sunset. It's a spot that'll definitely leave you in awe.
I think something that really sets the La Crosse community apart from others is the community support. This is a really tight-knit community with a thriving small business scene. And so if you're looking to shop small, support your community, this is a really great place to do it. If you head downtown, there's a myriad of gift shops, clothing stores, ice cream shops. I would definitely recommend checking out Pearl Street. There's a ice cream shop that kind of owns a whole block of the street down there. But also downtown, there's bars, restaurants, so many different businesses that you can support. Also, on the note of restaurants, I have to highly recommend the Cheese Journey at Four Sisters, which is a local restaurant that serves really high quality food and tapas. And the food or the Cheese Journey is like this giant board of so much cheese. And you're in Wisconsin, so you
So
know
you
it's
have
good
to have
cheese.
cheese.
Exactly.
Exactly.
Highly recommend.
Of course, we can't forget about that food scene. Whether
Mhm.
you're having a casual meal or something a little more upscale, La Crosse has tons of great restaurants. The Freight House is one of the local favorites, serving up delicious dishes with amazing views of the river. And if you're in the mood for a beer, La Crosse has a rich brewing history. Pearl Street Brewery and Turtle Stack Brewery are local staples, offering craft beers that'll make your taste buds dance. You can even take a brewery tour if you're curious about the brewing process.
Speaking of breweries, La Crosse, I feel like you can't talk about La Crosse without at least mentioning Oktoberfest. So La Crosse hosts one of the largest Oktoberfest celebrations in the Midwest, welcoming over 150,000 annual attendees. This event happens every September/October and brings the city together with a huge celebration. La Crosse isn't a city to shy away from a party. If you miss Oktoberfest, just know there's plenty of other fests that you can attend to as well, including things like Irish Fest, Riverfest, and plenty of other local events.
There's so much to explore, but no matter what activities you choose, La Crosse is a place that will leave you feeling refreshed and inspired. Whether you're into outdoor adventures, learning about history, or just soaking in the beauty of the river and bluffs, this charming Wisconsin city has something for everyone.
Absolutely. Now, next up, we are going to welcome our special guest, Jodi Ehrenberger. Jodi is a lacrosse expert and our lacrosse market president here at Coulee Bank. Thank you so much for joining us today, Jodi. We wanted to spend some time discussing the lacrosse community and what makes it so unique. First, could you tell us just a little bit about your story and what brought you to lacrosse?
Sure. So I was born and raised in the La Crosse area. After school, I moved away and lived in Colorado for about 10 years. And then when I was ready to start a family, I just realized that my home was here in the Midwest and I decided to move back to La Crosse.
Very cool. So, yeah, how long have you been back, I guess, home?
So it has been almost 17 years that I have been back from Colorado, and I've never been happier. It's such a good place to be.
Yeah, for sure. What is your favorite part about the lacrosse community?
I think having lived in big cities, I lived in Denver and then also living in small towns. My favorite thing about La Crosse is that it's the perfect big little town.
Mhm.
We have lots of big city things to do, but then also it feels really like a small community where people are pretty close knit and really care about each other.
Yeah. Yeah, I always feel that way when I'm down there too. I'm over here in the Twin Cities, but get to go down to La Crosse quite a bit. And it really is just a unique atmosphere, I feel like, with there's so many small businesses and it's just very connected and uh, feels like a community where people like really support each other. And I think that's really special.
Absolutely. I think that the amount of people who are so charitable and giving to each other in this community is amazing. I also just think it's the perfect mix of tons of things to do in the outdoors. We have the bluffs, we have the river. So there's all sorts of outdoor activities, but we also have a really great arts community with our symphony and as well as visual arts in the community that you can take advantage of in the pump house. Um, there's just so many things to do that you just can't really get this very many places in a community that's this size.
Yeah, definitely. Also, restaurants. There's like really good restaurants. Every time I'm in La Crosse, I'm like, I got to go to all these places because I'm not here super often. But that was something that I was also born in La Crosse, but didn't come back until I was older for work. And so something that surprised me about the town is, yeah, there's so many restaurants and really good restaurants.
I think it's just maybe a sign that some of the people that have lived and worked in bigger cities like Minneapolis or Madison, they they want some of the lifestyle choices that lacrosse has to offer. And so we're seeing a little bit more migration into our city, and they're bringing their awesome food choices here, and we're not complaining. So
Yeah.
we're pretty lucky.
Yeah. Next up, what would you say sets the business community apart here in La Crosse?
I think our community, the businesses here in town, really have so much drive to do things well that you just see quality set apart in service, sales, and the products and the experience that you have with our businesses in town. I feel like that's really what sets our city apart from others, is just the quality of the people and the services and products we offer.
Yeah. Yeah, I would definitely agree with that. With some of the vendors I work with down in La Crosse, it really is like my example will be Digicopy out of La Crosse. That's someone that we work with a lot here at Coulee Bank, and the service is insane, like so good. Nothing I've experienced here in the Twin Cities, and so there definitely is. I can see that quality aspect of it for sure.
Absolutely. And then if you consider just the quality of the service and sales that you get, how much of a value it provides, I
Hmm.
feel like it's one of those best kept secrets here in La Crosse.
Yeah, yeah. Lastly, any recommendations for things to do? We talked a little bit about restaurants to visit, anything like that.
So I think if you are in the La Crosse area heading to downtown La Crosse, we have a wide variety of restaurants that are amazing. So anything in the downtown area, we've got some great hotels that are right on the river.
Mhm.
You can certainly visit any of those in the downtown area, and I don't think you'll be disappointed.
Yeah. Yes. And definitely, I feel like I have to give a shout out for the cheese journey at Four Sisters. I don't know if you've ever had that, but I had that last time I was there. Really good.
That is amazing. I would say I really enjoy going to the distillery and getting one of their crafted cocktails there.
Hmm.
That is a really fun place to do. And certainly a classic is visiting the Freight House if you're
Yes.
up for some crab legs or steak.
Yes, definitely. Awesome. Well, yeah, just a huge thanks for joining us today. We love talking about lacrosse, all of the amazing things that lacrosse has to offer, and really highlighting it is a spot to visit if you're here in the Midwest. Yeah, make the drive over. There's tons to do, tons to eat, and then just beautiful nature, and especially in the fall when the leaves are changing, really,
Sure.
really beautiful. So thank you so much,
Yeah.
Jodi, for joining us.
The other thing, Rachel, that will be coming up is our music scene and music in the park once summer and
Mm.
spring hits will be amazing. So definitely check out the Lacrosse Visitors Bureau because they have all sorts of recommendations on music in the park. And it is an amazing time to enjoy the river, the music, and the scenery.
Yeah, super good to know. Yes, well, thank you, Jodi. Big thanks for joining us, talking about the lacrosse community. And then thank you so much to our audience for joining us. We encourage you to follow our podcast wherever you're streaming so that you can be the first to see when a new episode drops. We look forward to talking with you again next month, and thank you for listening.